telling me, yo, the white people are so smart.
Yeah, well,
Everything
there's
that's
always
good and
that.
smart, white people
Can't
are
come
smart.
from white
Because they've been conditioned to think
Yeah.
like that. It takes someone who is against, who's possibly going to be hated at first.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like, why are you trying to be smart now? But
Yeah,
he's just
so it's
seeing
like,
that
which
it's
is
not
why I'm
true.
thinking that when you say that, since I haven't been in SA for long enough to understand everything, because obviously I've largely been focused on my studies. So there are things that I might not have seen. So which is why I'm saying, like, you are validated in saying that Marxist is the only approach to go forward. Right? For me, I would like a mash of the two.
Okay, which and which?
Capitalism and Marxism.
I think that was
Like, with
Nelson Mandela.
socialism.
I think that was sort of Nelson Mandela's approach. Codes, you should still code switch and accept white people. are
No,
still
but I'm
trying
not
to
saying
change
it
things
in
slowly.
Okay, let's take out these white people in this discussion. I'm now talking about the idea itself. You know what I'm
Which
saying,
idea?
of capitalism and Marxism. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're speaking about capitalism now.
Yeah. So I know it's just okay. Well, pardon me that I digress.
I was confused. I thought you were
Yeah.
speaking about something.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just that I understand this whole thing. I'm being a little cautious now in what I'm saying because I realize that I don't know a lot, and maybe I might not be aware of many of the grievances. I do understand what apartheid did and everything. You see, but I don't know it to the fullest extent now to excuse white people. I know, like it's a bad thing, but now here I was just taking a stand for capitalism, not
Yes,
white
yes, yes,
people.
yes, yes.
So this is why I asked to take them out of the equation and
The
just
thing
speak
is,
about
in
capitalism.
SA now, it's hard to take white people outside of capitalism because they sort of own the capital market.
No,
That's
that's
why
true.
they're
That's
always
true.
part
Which
of
is
the
why I was saying,
conversation.
that's why capitalism seems to not work. But as an idea now, it's not a bad one. That's I was taking a stand for it. For me, obviously, this is going to be an idea that is probably not shared amongst the three of us. Anyway,
No,
But
it
it's
has,
like-
it has its benefits, man. I won't lie. Because the good thing about capitalism is the fact that if you really play the game very well, you can get out of your circumstances and be
I guess,
among
yeah.
the wealthy people. I suppose that's a good thing about it. Whereas with communism, you're more likely, if you're poor, you're going to be poor. Because now the government, the state, owns the resources, right?
Yeah.
They simply just distribute according to what class sort of in. It would be nicer if it was more like what happens in Austria or Vienna, right? Where there's equal distribution to people.
yeah, I see.
No one is really poor. No one is really rich. Everyone is
Okay.
sort of.
So it doesn't matter how much
How
you
much
work,
money,
then
because-
you're still gonna be in the same level.
I think the biggest problem was this thing. Like we are seeing it now with the COVID-19, right? People who provide essential services get paid so little money.
Yeah, that's true.
But now when it's harsh and everything is falling apart, they are expected to go and work. And they put their lives at risk because we need them. But yet
But
the
they
amount
do
they
get a
get
lot
paid.
of money though.
Yeah?
Like being a doctor is a very rewarding career.
Yes, but is everyone getting paid as much as a doctor? Because the thing is, the way we look at things is almost like if the doctor is healing diseases and stuff like that, his job is way more important than a plumber. But without the plumber, there'll be shit all over the place.
Yeah,
and all of us
well,
will
I
be
mean, I
sick
guess
to
like
begin
it's
with.
like, but like no, it's
And we'll
okay.
all
Like,
be sick.
yeah, no, you guys can look at it that way. I think there should be some sort of reward in the amount of effort you put in to
Put
get.
in to become a doctor.
Yeah, it's
I
really
feel you.
expensive to go to school as to be a doctor.
I feel you. That's
And
true.
being a plumber, it's almost like 10,000 a year to train, or less.
I know, my man.
But
I feel
okay,
you.
can we maybe talk about people who are almost in a close proximity?
Approximation.
Let's say nurses and doctors, for example.
You see.
You can even see the pay disparities between a nurse and a doctor.
What I think
But they
should happen,
kind of hand in hand.
what I think should happen,
Look.
is that the training is not the same. No? Based off of that, I would then expect them to not work too many hours.
But they do work too many hours.
That's
the thing.
where the problem is, because it's now how then do you equate a nurse and a doctor when it comes
Look,
to being paid?
Honestly, I get to your points, right? I feel like a doctor is more intensive training, and they go to university way longer than
Yeah.
a nurse would do, right? But I feel like the way they're being rewarded is a bit still unfair, because after that 7 years, they're simply just doing the same thing as well, just the same way that the nurses are doing. Fine, there should be some form of reward for them at a specific time.
But it's not the same
But-
thing.
Huh?
It's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying they're
But
doing the same
Doctors
thing as
do
nurses.
way more.
I'm not saying they're doing the same
They
thing
do
as
way
nurses.
more, but they work hand in hand.
Yes,
with
but they
nurses.
work
I
hand in
guess,
hand.
yeah.
They won't
Without
do
the
their work
nurses-
without the
So you don't
nurses.
want any reward for being the mastermind of someone's health,
There should be a
and
reward.
somebody's just like being a helping hand.
Look, I'm saying that there should be a reward, right? But I feel like maybe the way the paying system might not be the best.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe
reward.
they're not getting
might
it
not
nearly
be-
enough that what they should be getting.
Yes.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
feel like it might not be the best way that they've found. I think that it needs to be revised. I'm not saying I have the answer.
Yeah, no, I understand it. From my way of thinking, it's just that I think now when we level the playing field, it kills ambition. Because then
But
people
that
stop
is the
working
problem,
hard
though.
for stuff. Then I might as well be a plumber then, because then I do less work for just as much as a nigga that is burning out trying to get a doctor's degree.
Exactly, I feel you. But you are saying that it will kill ambition if people don't get paid that high. But I feel like it kills ambition because of the fact that people are only wanting to become something because of the money instead of having the actual ambition themselves, the passion. Because if you do something,
No, that's
because you
the
enjoy it,
you were talking
that in
about
itself
passion
should be
now.
enough.
Ambition is the money thing. The passion is wanting to be a doctor. Yes, I love to be like this, but I guess maybe since it's hard to get to that stuff, you might be ambitious to say I want to earn the rewards for doing this.
Look, Farai, all I'm trying to say is, my man, there are things there where when you look at it, you can clearly see its contribution to things, right? And there are certain things that have just almost enough contribution to society, but they are always taken lightly. You understand? It's almost like people don't appreciate those things until they finally see why these things are actually important. Like the essential workers that work at Pick and Pay. I'm not saying they have to work for 7 years at university to learn how to work a till or give you your money or do all the stuff.
I'll agree with you on one thing.
But I feel like
they're
they
not
should
earning
be.
nearly enough
That's
as they
exactly-
should be.
That's what
But
I'm
they
saying.
should not be earning.
As much as a doctor.
That's what I'm thinking.
But my point is, my man, I think it's because now we are in a capitalistic system, right? So in that capital system, in this type of system, I would agree with you, right? But I still feel like there's a wrong thing whereby you're going to kill someone's dream now. But what if I don't want to become a doctor, my man, right? I want to do something else that will contribute to society. But because I know that I won't get paid enough money for what I'm doing, it discourages me now. I now just follow the line of being an engineer or a doctor.
Even if you're not passionate
Even if I'm
about
not
it.
passionate about it, because there's money. So I'm not fully living up my full potential to be who I'm supposed to be. Because now I am not being rewarded for what I'm doing. And now it's almost like saying that I don't work hard now.
I think,
I may work hard, but just in a different way.
I guess maybe nurses are not, the best example here. But like maybe going back to the plumber situation. I don't recall anybody growing up wanting to be a plumber. I think it's just one of those things where life has dealt you the worst hand, and now you have to do those things, or like work at Pick and Pay. I don't hear anybody growing up saying they want to do that.
I don't think anyone would want to do that because of the stigma that's also associated with it.
Attached to it, yeah.
If there was no stigma at all associated with it and you were getting paid a just amount, I feel like people would be like, I can be myself a cashier.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think this is a very complicated topic, which maybe we need to prepare a bit, because I feel like,
Okay, let me
we
just
don't
ask.
want to discredit what people are doing, man. Because it's like I fully understand where you are coming from. Because it's like I feel like there should be some sort of economic reward for whatever it is. Because all work is honorable at the end of the day.
See,
You know?
that's kind of like what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah, so I identify with that sort of thing. But I also like feel like if you've worked harder than others, you might get more than others.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know
that.
about
For 7
that.
years. Just because you worked harder for 7 years, my man. It's not like you worked harder your entire life, my man. I feel like a plumber, my man, faces other
you kind of have to
also
have a
face
lot
other
of
risks as
discipline
well.
to sustain a doctor's life, my nigga, from even way back. Because you need to meet a certain standard to even go into medical school. It's not even a very easy
all of
thing.
that. I feel that, yes, I do.
So it's like I
That's
identify
why I'm
with
saying.
what you guys are saying.
But that's why I'm saying, man, I fully agree with you that they should be rewarded for all that discipline and all the time they put in. But I feel like it shouldn't be the way it's being done. So I feel like it should be something like this. You know how it is when you have this stuff, government grants, whereby, let's say, they encourage you to become a teacher
Okay.
or a pharmacist or whatever it is they want you to do, right? And then they say, if you finish this thing, you already have a job waiting for you,
Okay.
right?
Incentives, yeah.
Incentives. They give you incentives to do that because it's harder. I feel like that's what they should do. But it doesn't mean that because now you did something hard for 7 years, even when you're done now with that stuff, now you're working, I should still be paying you now. It's almost like someone gave me 5 rand because I needed to go to Melbourne and it was raining. Now each time I meet this person, I need to give them a 5 rand again. Even though I've said thank you now and take back your 5 rand.
But now there's continued work, most. Now it's not like you learned 5 years and you stop there. There's
I know.
continued work, like you're keeping people alive.
Exactly.
But
That's what
anyway,
I'm saying.
here's what I'm saying. Nah? I don't disagree completely with what you guys say. Nah? I am empathetic on people that are getting less. What I am saying, and I think what I've been trying to say from the beginning, is that I like for it to be a mash or like, capitalistic way of making money. And then a Marxist way of redistributing the wealth.
Let me say this before we can go on. I think every job is important because without that specific job, another job wouldn't happen. Let's take for example the doctors. A doctor will never be able to operate on someone without the nurse inside beside them. Okay, let me move on to this capital thing. My only problem with capitalism, man, is that it always goes back to how it came about to be. The conquest and stuff. That's my only problem with capitalism. But I can see now,
You see, I feel like capitalism is harsher, especially because people are not starting in the same plane.
That's the problem.
I think that's why I have a problem with it. If everyone is in the same playing field and all of us had the same opportunities, then it's fine.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
only unfair now because some people are already there and they just have to work a bit more just to maintain.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Whereas
That's
you
true.
have to
Yeah.
start.
That's
building,
why I was saying. That's
building.
why I was saying it seems like a very sinister thing to do here in Africa because of the disproportionate way in which wealth is distributed. No?
Yeah.
Already somebody is at an advantage. So it's like I identify with it. I'm not going to force capitalism on SA. But I like the current model though, where if somebody does not have money, the government has some way to help. But I feel like they're not giving nearly enough though. Anyway.
I suppose, mama.
Yeah, man.